Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena and another Florida Everblades pregame show. I'm Hannah Jo Groves alongside Jake Maurice. Jake, we've got a fun one today. A lot of good news to share, but first let's throw to Camille Frick, who got to talk to Logan Lambden after his hat trick on Wednesday night.
Well, Logan, down 2-0 in the second. You find space in Atlanta's territory to get one in. What did that do for your guys' confidence?
I mean, just kind of reassured us, we have this, and kind of planted a seed that we're in this game, and we continue to do the right things. Everything's going to work out, and we're going to win the game.
You scored not one, not two, but 3 goals tonight, a hat trick, your second of the season. How does it feel?
Felt unbelievable. It's been a while since I've buried one to do 3 in one night. And it felt unbelievable.
How important is it at this point in the season to win a game like tonight?
It's huge. You need to build momentum going into playoffs, and a win here, it's it just keeps building us in the right direction to be playing the right way going into playoffs.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Thanks, Camille. So, fun fact, Jake, that wasn't Logan Lambden's first hat trick of the season. He got one in November against the Orlando Solar Bears. Jake, Logan is such a solid guy for Florida. What makes him so special to this team?
I mean, he's a guy, when he's on, right? And we saw that last night. We actually saw even before he scored the goal. He had a breakaway where he got stonewalled. He was frustrated.
Yes.
He was in a little bit of a slump scoring-wise for goals coming into tonight's game, and that a great chance that he couldn't convert on. He goes to the bench, lets it out, let it out.
Which
and
is
then,
fair,
yeah,
which is fair.
Sometimes you need to, and then he got back to it and gets one. Feeling great. Goes on the power play. Gets another off a nice setup. Feeling even better. And then the empty netter, right? Just nice to seal it away. Actually get the hat trick in front of the home crowd. A great way to start off the final week of regular season hockey at Hertz Arena.
Absolutely. He definitely made up for whatever happened before. So Logan is one of the guys that stepped up in the absence of some of our usual bigger names, right? Like Carson Gusevich, Alex Kyle, Oliver Chow. The fact that they can get the win without some of those normal heavy hitters, what does that do for their confidence as playoffs gets closer and closer?
Well, I mean, it shows you that the guys in the room can get it done. Even if the top guys aren't out there, you're not reliant on Oliver Chow, Carson Gusevich, Alex Kyle to win you games, right?
Yeah.
There are teams in this league that they're one line, they're 2 lines, and then you go up against their bottom 6 or even their bottom 9,
Right.
and you exploit that.
Right.
The Blades have done that this season to some of these teams. Florida, they don't have to worry about that. Their guys showed last night that from the first line down to the 4th line, all 3 defensive pairings can all contribute when you need to try and come back in a game, get an important goal. They can get different guys to show up. Because, yes, Logan Lambden had the hat trick yesterday,
Yes.
but it wasn't the Lambden show.
Right.
Everyone pitched in a good way to help get that win, and that's very important because you're not going to win in the playoffs, not going to win the Kelly Cup, as we've seen over the last 3 years, without 4 lines rolling.
Definitely. As deep as you can go, you want to have guys that can get it done, and it seems like the Blades do have that, so it's very exciting. Did want to talk about Jake, though. It was a comeback win on Wednesday night, which has kind of become a trend, and while it's very nice
Sort
to
of
know...
the theme this year, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, which is so exciting. But it's nice to know you can get it done. However, I was wondering if there's something consistent you've seen that's prevented the Blades from getting an early lead.
Well, on the good side, it is good to see that the Blades, they get better as the game goes along, right? It's
True.
certainly better than the inverse.
True.
But I think it's honestly sort of just, it kind of, in the same way that comebacks have become ingrained into who the Everblades are,
Yeah.
it's almost like not scoring in the first has become a part of who Florida is. Well,
Sure.
with that game on Wednesday, Florida has now gone more first periods this year without a goal than scored.
Really?
Yeah, so that's not a great number.
No.
And part of it is just, we saw it last night with Lambden, right? Just the difference between getting the goal and not. Because, yeah, there's chances that the Blades have had in the first, throughout the season, not just on Wednesday night. But when you don't score,
Yeah.
it just kind of becomes a part of who you are.
Right.
And in the same way where no matter what the score is, Florida knows they're in the game, they can come back, they can get the win. They just don't really get the goals in the first period. And that's
Yeah.
a major focus for the team in these last 2 games against Atlanta, is finding a way to just, even, doesn't matter if they're pretty, doesn't matter
Right.
if they're
Oh,
made
no.
the right way, it doesn't
No.
matter if it's a bounce off the wall that just goes in.
Yeah.
Just getting first period goals important for Florida, because you're not going to come back 16 games to win the Kelly Cup. That would be stressful,
Yes.
but great.
Yes.
But I don't think that's going to happen. So a couple times, Florida's offense has got to click in and score during the first period. Having it look good is important, of course.
Sure.
Maybe if you could flip the way they dominated the third period into the first period
Sure.
from 2 nights ago and get that
Yes.
tonight, that would be great. but just important to get goals in the first going into the postseason.
It takes a lot of mental and physical stamina, which they do have both. But like you said, Jake, when we get in the playoffs, that's just going to get tougher and tougher to get a comeback win after comeback win. So hopefully they can kind of hit their stride a little bit earlier here. So I wanted to talk about Cam Johnson. What a guy. We can't say enough about him. He got his 36th win on the season, which is a league high, with 20 saves on Wednesday night. And now he has been named to the All-ECHL first team, the first time in his career that's happened. I want to talk about what that means, not only for his ever-mounting confidence, but also for his legacy as an Everblade.
I mean, it sets him up as arguably the best Everblade of all time, not certainly the best Everblades goaltender. One of the top goaltenders in ECHL history, honestly.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got 3 Kelly Cups, you've got 2 playoff MVPs, now an All-ECHL first team. It's the first regular season award he's won in his career. He's been close a couple times. Last year, he was 3rd place for goaltender of the year voting.
Yeah.
We'll get the goaltender of the year next Thursday is when the ECHL is going to announce that award. So we'll find that out too. But certainly this one is great, right? You're put up there with the likes of Brandon Hawkins, who leads the league in points this year, with guys like Kyle Mayhew and Fort Wayne, who've been dominant on the defensive side. It shows that Johnson, he's the top goaltender in the ECHL this year. It's not been particularly close, honestly. In wins, in goals against average, in shutouts. He's the best in all 3 of those categories, all very important categories. And when you know you've got that guy in the crease going into the playoffs, that does a lot, not just for his confidence, because, I mean, to be honest, he's had that forever. But for the confidence of the full group, that he's on another level, that he's ready to go, and that even if you have a really rough game, because they do happen for every team.
Definitely.
He's back there, and he can steal you wins for sure.
Totally. And build the confidence of the whole team, even from the net.
He usually only gets better once we get into playoff hockey.
Exactly. Yeah, he really locks in at that point. We've seen that before. All right, so going into tonight's game, Camille Frick got to talk to Connor Doherty to get his thoughts. Let's take a look.
All right, Connor, what are you expecting out of Atlanta tonight after Wednesday's game?
I mean, I think they played really well offensively. I think they like to jump in the rush and stuff, so I think they're going to keep kind of going to the net, trying to create offense in any way they can. So I think we expect them to put a good effort forward, and we got to be ready for it.
How are you staying dialed and focused for tonight with playoffs right around the corner?
I think we talk about it in the morning every day. You just kind of have to focus on the task at hand, and I think everything we're doing right now is going to help us in playoffs, so we're trying to just start building towards what we want in playoffs, and I think you have to use each game to get better.
What's fueling you individually at this point in the season to finish strong?
Kind of same thing. I think the team here obviously has had success, and I want to be a part of that and kind of help them win. So I think every game I have, I need to work on the fine details and kind of get everything ready. So once the playoffs come, you don't really have to think. You just go and play.
Thanks, Camille. So you said it on Wednesday's pregame show, Jake. You can't discount this Atlanta team. They are still having eyes on them for what could happen next season, what team they could be playing on. They still want to do their best. So let's get into the direct effect marketing 3 keys of the game so we can stop any momentum that they get up.
Well, we've talked about it quite a bit for the first key, getting the first goal of the game, right? Having a strong first period and coming out from 20 minutes on top of the matchup. Important for Florida just to build. It's like one of the last pieces of their game. They really need to build up going into the postseason. Second off, the special teams. They were great on Wednesday night. Probably one of the best games we've seen in a while, combined between the power play and the penalty kill. Power play got plenty of chances and a goal, which is important to make sure there's no frustration going into the postseason, because as we talked about with the first period, sometimes you're doing the right things, but you don't get results. It just leads to frustration, and from there things crumble. That was great. Penalty kill locked Atlanta out, didn't give them a chance to extend their lead or come back in the matchup. And then finally, sellout crowd tonight. Sellout crowd tomorrow. You're going to get a lot of energy from the fans here at Hertz Arena going into the playoffs. Use it to give them something to cheer for like you did 2 nights ago.
Absolutely. And the fans, you guys always bring the energy. We love feeling the energy in the room. The vibes are always high. So when the guys need you, be a little extra loud, especially as we get into playoffs. They're really going to need your voices, your energy. Every good thing you can send them, they will take it gladly. So Jake, straight ahead, we've got warm-ups, and then it's the Atlanta Gladiators versus your Florida Everblades. We'll see you there.